Hello, everyone. They say change is the only constant. So Cbse has brought out another major change on 27 November. Today, we were going through the examinations and we were following certain patterns. Cbse has got certain feedbacks. Probably on the basis of that, they have given us a set of new instructions. So I'm sure this is going to be a very valuable FAQ that every evaluator, invigilator, and coordinator should understand. The first one, the question says that how many OMRs are re-evaluated by the coordinator? Now, one thing that was happening was the coordinator was signing all the sheets, irrespective of whether it is being rechecked or not. Now, it is very clearly mentioned that 20% of the total OMR has to be rechecked by the coordinator. That means whether the marking has been done as per protocol, whether all the questions as per the sections has been corrected, evaluated, and the total number of correct questions has been recorded. So if he finds that everything is okay, he will put the signature. So 20%. So let's say an evaluator is checking 30 papers. So 20% of that you will have to check. So 6 papers has to be corrected or evaluated by the coordinator. So one thing that is very, very important now is that the coordinator was using a black pen. In my earlier video also, I said that an earlier notification, they said black. But now they have very clearly said that blue and black can only be used by the student. Invigilator, observer, coordinator, evaluator, everyone is going to use only red. So please make sure that you are carrying only red pen with you. No other pen will be allowed by any teacher in the school premises. If you are carrying any other pen besides red, then that is you are breaking the protocol as per Cbse, and there could be complaints. So this is one major thing that has changed in this. Secondly, this I have already told that you have to sign all or not. So it is clearly mentioned as to be signed only on those OMRs which has been re-evaluated. So there has to be a re-evaluated, and then only that's 20% has to be signed, right? So here, is it mandatory to have coordinators from the center school, or coordinator could be from the schools whose students are appearing in the boards from the center school? This is the question here. And they are saying that both possibilities are true and correct. So it is possible that you have a coordinator of your own school, or you could be from other schools, so that the schools can decide. So how many OMRs are to be evaluated by the evaluator? So it depends on the subject. If there are a large number of students in the school giving a subject, then the evaluation has to be done faster. So we can give only 20 OMRs for the evaluation to be done per evaluator. And if the number of, for minor exams where the number of questions are less, for example, we had the computer exam and the IT exam, the Sanskrit examination where there was only one set and the evaluation and number of students were less, then it is possible to give 30 OMR sheets to one person. And also they have given a provision that more evaluators than suggested can be appointed by the center superintendent, right? So if suppose the center feels that evaluation can be done faster by appointing more evaluators, then the CS is free to appoint more, right? This is also another question. There were many queries regarding that. Can the PTI or sports teacher or art teacher can become an evaluator? The answer is yes. They very clearly said that any teacher in the school teaching whichever subject, curricular or co-curricular, can be part of the evaluation, because after all it is based on OMR, and you just have to see the marking scheme and tick or cross as per the marking scheme, right? Then class 10, 12 teachers or 12 teachers, irrespective of which classes you are taking, anybody can be appointed as an evaluator. So this is the major change. And here also one very important note is highlighted here. I want to highlight this point number 4. These are the new instructions from Cbse and must be complied with immediate effect. So this is released today. So for all exams starting from next week, this is the new. So all the previous videos or circulars that you have in your possession, kindly ignore all this. This is the new evaluation scheme that has to be followed. And here it's also saying that the center school should have evaluators from all schools, which means that you can also invite in evaluators from other neighboring schools as well. So it is not necessary that the evaluator has to be from all schools. your own school. So few evaluators from neighboring schools for the fairness of evaluation can be invited. So this happens when the school is a center. So in most cases, we are seeing that the school itself is a center. So the evaluators belong to same school. So you can invite a few other evaluators from other schools, nearby schools. And this is a major change. The students can use blue or black ballpoint pen, right? In the admit card, it was written only blue, right? Now they have clearly specified in this that black or blue can be used. And here comes a very important thing, that the invigilator, evaluator, coordinator, observer, all these observers have to use red and nothing else. So there is no other choice but to use red. And another very important thing, if you note here, use and possession of black or blue pen other than the students is not allowed at all in the examination centers. Very valid point. Use and possession of blue or black pen other than students. Students have to carry either black or blue, but other than that, invigilator, evaluator, coordinator, observer, and all officials need to carry a red ballpoint pen. So this is a major change because the color codes that were circulated earlier was different. So now they have realized that perhaps some centers are not functioning properly because of reasons that are best known to them, because of probably malpractices happening. So they have decided that all the officials involved in the correction will be using only red ballpoint pen and nothing else. So this is what is mainly thing. And here, whether observers have to sign on all? Yes, observer has to sign on all the OMR as proof of complying instructions issued by Cbse that all boxes on the OMR sheet have been filled in by the candidates, and if not, the circle next to the box has been darkened by the candidates. So as far as observer is concerned, the observer has to sign on all the sheets again by using red pen, right? Can evaluators count the total correct answers while doing evaluation and upload these numbers on the link? So evaluation will be done as per the instruction in the question paper. Now every question paper has certain instructions. According to that, the evaluator will check. So there are sections according to which the evaluator has to check. So question paper needs to be provided. It's very important that whenever the school is appointing an evaluator, the question paper also need to be given to them, right? Without question papers, evaluators cannot decide how evaluation should be done because it's not that all questions are compulsory. So here it is important to understand that the whole question paper is divided into sections, right? So they have given an example here. There are two sections in a question paper, section A and B. Suppose A is having 30 and the next is having, for which 20 questions have to be attempted, right? So there are 30 questions and the child has to attempt 20. And in the next section, one student has attempted only 20 and in the section B, the student has attempted 24, right? So here there are two sections, section A and B, both are having 30. So here they have 30. Here it's okay, the student has attempted 20, but now this student has attempted 24 questions. Now, how do we evaluate this? This 20 questions, no problem. The student has attempted 20, what is desired. And here they have given an example, the student has got 18 correct. So he gets 18 in section A, right? In section B, what has happened? He has attempted more than the required questions. He has attempted 24 questions. So what is going to happen? The last 4 questions should not be checked. Do not check the last 4. So the first 20 questions responded by the students will only be evaluated. So suppose he is getting 15 correct out of the first 20 attempted, then the total marks will be 18 and 15. We will add up and we are going to get this as 33. So this is going to be the system of evaluation that is going to be there. Extra questions attempted will not be evaluated. So evaluators, please make note that if there are extra questions, that should not be evaluated, right? Also there is an important instruction here. Will there be any instruction given on the answer key about number of questions to be responded? These are only given in the question paper. So nothing is mentioned in the marking scheme. The marking scheme has only options 1A, 2B, 3C, and so on, right? So the subject teacher needs to be called. It's not necessary. The instructions are very clear. So any teacher can clarify and do it. They can read through the instructions. Now they have given some samples here. This is the Hindi paper. Okay. This is the maths paper. For example, here the duration is 90 minutes. The question paper has 50 questions, out of which 40 has to be attempted. All questions are equal marks, right? Here there are 3 sections, A, B, C. In the first section, we have 20 questions and 16 has to be attempted, right? Section B has 20, 16 to be attempted. Section C. Now, this is another case study. There was a misconception that if the case study, each case study, you have to attempt 4 each. There is nothing like that. Earlier also, it was clarified that any 8 can be done out of 10. So it can be a combination of 5 plus 3 or 3 plus 5 or 4 plus 4, right? But nobody should attempt more than the required number of questions. If they are attempting more than 16, let's say here, then what is going to happen? Suppose he has attempted all the 20 questions, then 17, 18, 19, 20 will not be corrected by the evaluator. Same way here, only 16 are required. So whichever is the extra question, the student should make sure that it is darkened in the end, because that will be the only way in which that question will not be evaluated, right? And the boxes have got more value than the circles. So kindly, invigilators, please remind the students that they should write the answers in the box very clearly, irrespective of whether they are circling or not. The box carries a weightage, and that is what is going to give them marks. And if the student does not want that question to be evaluated, make sure that the student is circling the last circle, right? So this is what the general instructions are. So you can go through this document and you will be able to get more clarity on this. But the most important thing is that we are supposed to use only red ink as evaluators, observers, and coordinators. The coordinator will only check, recheck, and sign with red ink 20% of the total evaluated sheets. Observer will need to sign on all. So if I share the OMR sheet, the OMR sheet is already pre-filled with the name of the candidates and the other details. And the invigilator should make sure that the correct OMR sheet goes to the student as per the roll number and name of the student. So all this is going to be pre-filled. Now, what is important for the evaluator now is to check whether the student, the invigilator will first check that the question paper code is correct, because every question paper code will have a different marking scheme. So it's important that they fill in this correctly. Then the student is going to fill this in blue or black ink, write down the correct option here. And what does the evaluator have to do? Evaluator will just put their ticks with red on the question number. So 1, 2, he'll just put ticks. It's easier to count the ticks, right? So suppose he has attempted all the questions here. He has not attempted 3, 4. He's whichever. This is got wrong. He's got wrong here. Don't put a tick or cross there. Just put the ticks wherever you find that the student is right. And then make sure that the student is writing this in the own handwriting, in his or own writing. I confirm that all particulars given above are correct. The student will sign here. And here the signature of invigilator, evaluator, coordinator, observer. All these signatures are going to be in red, nothing else. Here the identification number, which is provided, the ID from the OSS, you'll have to put that number. Whichever number is there, everything has to be filled in red. So that is what is going to happen here, right? Everything is to be in red. So this has to be done there. Total correct answers you will count. After checking this, you will count. Suppose the child has got 19 correct answers. The candidate is obviously signed here. This has to be verified by the coordinator. If it is 19 or 18 or 17, if it is 19, you will write here. So both of them ideally has to match. So the coordinator is going to sign only the 20% of the total papers, right? All papers will not be. So invigilator sign will be there with red. Evaluator will sign, observer will sign. This signature will only be on 20% of the sheets, right? So this is the latest update. And if there are more updates, then I'll be putting in more videos. Thank you so much for your patience. And I hope our students are going to do really well. Considering the situation, I think it has been a challenge for them to give the examinations. So hopefully they'll come out with flying colors. Thank you.